what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the B3 podcast. It's just me and Matt.
And I was like, what theme song do we play?
I don't know. We have our show partners at Lean Nutrition. Check them out at leannutritionomaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off. Go to the store in Omaha or Lincoln, yell B3.
Get a free shaker.
And 10% off.
And 20% off this week only.
Yeah. Just Wednesday.
just Wednesday.
We also have Rosewood Block to make the best cutting boards and barbecue, fully customizable. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off there.
No free shaker.
No free shaker there. And we have D&D Beef, local to Omaha, but they ship nationwide. So get some of their meat and put it on your Rosewood Block.
Yes. Also no free shaker, though.
No free shaker there either.
We're working on it.
Yeah. And then we have Omaha Barbell, the real Midwest mecca of neat and exciting stuff.
Also,
no free shaker. We do have shakers for sale, though. They're very nice.
Yeah, they're better than the ones at Elite.
Yes.
That's why they're for sale.
Support local.
Yeah. I try really hard to support local business.
We should have a number, like all the unions have a local whatever. We should be local.
69.
Oh.
No one saw that coming.
Yeah, nope, not at all.
Coming, C-U-M.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to talk about optics and ammunitions.
Let's at least start there.
Yeah, because I feel like people have questions about things. And Matt and I have learned more things in the last less than a year than I thought I would.
Yeah, like I thought I knew a decent amount about firearms and things.
I'm not like the intricacies guy, though. Like, I'm not going to take it apart and polish the firing pin and the sear. I'm not doing any of that stuff.
The most breakdown I will do is to take the slide off and spray it with oil and wipe it with a towel and then put it back together.
Yeah, people are like, oh yeah, I switched out the extractor into this. I'm like, that's...
I've heard what I know what an extractor is.
Yeah, now if I had to watch a video to learn about it, I would, just if I had to do it. Like, I put a trigger in a gun before and I was like, man.
So I'm wondering, I bought another CZ, a P10F.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have two of them, and that's why I was looking when I was talking about the Hollow Sun, because I like the SRO window. So Trijicon SRO is the optic that I have on my CZ. It's
and the SRO is the very popular.
It's like
competition optic. It's like the
competition. Like Trijicon RMR was like the gold standard forever in optics, and it's a great optic, but it's a 2.5 MOA, so the dot on there is very small.
The MOA is the minute of angle.
Minute of angle.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's just like how many at 100 yards or 50 yards or something. How big that dot appears on the target is essentially what it's measuring. So the bigger your MOA number is, the bigger the dot is, i.e., the more the target will cover, but the easier sight acquisition you generally have on it.
One MOA is 1/60th of a degree. It's an angular measurement, not fixed distance.
So it'll change depending on. So you could probably look it up and say at 25 yards.
So at 100 yards, it's 1 inch.
1 inch. Okay.
Yes.
So one MOA covers
equals 1 inch.
1 inch at 100 yards
Per 100 yards. Yes.
Yeah. So really, if you had a 1 MOA dot shooting at 100 yards, you would expect all of your rounds to be in a 1 inch circle, and that would technically still be sighted in.
Yes.
So anyway, as we've shot more, I shot a lot with that CZ. I really like the glass on the SRO is nice. It's a big round hole, like big, good. The dot is really small. Now having shot aside from the P211 being a significantly better gun in general, the optic on there is an 8 MOA. So I went from 2.5 MOA to 8 MOA.
Which is very big at far distance.
So it's a humongous dot, but it is super easy to find.
But it can cover up targets.
It can cover up targets, and it's not so but when we're shooting sub 20 yards, I have no problems with it. I think it's really accurate. I can shoot a shotgun shell off of a post.
Yes.
2 for 2 on that, just saying.
Yep.
But
yes, he is better than me with that.
So the 8 MOA dot, it was great, but I think 8 MOA for general, because you're going to have some of these USPSA matches I've seen have been 25 yards, even a little bit further out, and an 8 MOA I think is too big. So that Hollow Sun 507 comp can come in a 3 MOA or a 6 MOA platform with a ring around. You can have a ring around your dot that can either be an 8 MOA, a 16 MOA, or a 32 MOA ring. Now, I think the benefit I like of the ring is if you had call it a 16 MOA ring around a 6 MOA dot, as you bring that thing across, you're going to find that ring faster, unless like your dot is perfectly centered and you're a really great shooter, which I am not yet. So I have a tendency to sometimes lose my dot, especially on initial acquisition. Like from the draw, finding my dot, not very good. But with that bigger ring, the ring itself is physically bigger in the glass. So I can see that and I can be like, oh shit. Because generally where my dot is up and to the right is where most of the time, if I had to just default and move the gun to find it, that's generally where my dot's coming from. But as I draw that up, I can see the ring and know that and start to make that small correction to bring the dot into view to get that first shot quicker. Slider acquisition, I'm sure Lane would say just be better, but
that's not always the answer though.
Yeah, we're getting there, right? I think we're getting there. So anyway, I'm looking at the Hollow Sun for that because I want both CZs to have the same setup, and optic is the big one. Now the trigger will be different because there's a Apex trigger that's in the current one, but that current one is also an older model, and Apex does not make a trigger for the newer model. So I'd have to put in a new trigger anyway, but I think the models are old enough that I'll be hard pressed to find the same trigger for both.
Sure.
So I want to shoot them and see, like, can I really notice the difference between those two triggers? Like I could feel the difference between the CZ and the SIG. Like those, I could 100% feel like the take up on the SIG, the break, the reset, all much faster, much quicker, much easier than the CZ. Like after shooting the SIG, the CZ feels like it's a 4.5 mile pull from the time like you meet resistance to the time you actually break the wall. Feels forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the 507 comp. And now if you're looking at the Hollow Suns, you have to make sure, because they make, I believe, a 507C. That is not the 507 comp. Yep. It's not just like a cool abbreviation.
Yeah, the comp is for competition.
And like the comp, and just like we were talked before, so the Defender from Vortex, Defender XL, they have bigger sight windows for better target acquisition.
Yep.
Along with the SRO. The SRO has a decent size sight window, which it's not going to, you probably don't necessarily want that on like a carry gun. And on a carry gun, you can run a constant like 8 MOA because most altercations are going to happen within like 10 feet.
Right. Yes.
So you have the bigger, so it's going to be on target faster. The smaller MOA is nice at distance. Like when we were sighting in, we were doing like 25-yard sight ins. And if you have just a big blob on there of an MOA dot, you can't see anything.
Yeah, I'll say like when we were sighting that in, my dot covered the entire splatter target. So like I couldn't even see.
And you had the smallest one?
Yeah, because so it was like, because that splatter target we were using had like a small green ring, a slightly bigger black ring, and then like a white ring outside of it. And my dot covered the entire ring. So I was like, well, okay.
And I mean, I would say we definitely got better and got our sights figured out better because we were doing like 25 yards and those were what, 2 or 3 inch?
Yeah.
And we were shooting those out from 25 yards with 9 mils. So I feel like we've improved that tremendously. But yeah, and I have had some people ask me about some different optics, and it just depends on what you're doing with it. If you want to do like competitive, or you like to shoot, even if you don't compete, but you like to do like competitive shooting, like the movement and the speed, you're going to want to get a bigger sight window.
Yep.
Because you need to be able to see stuff faster.
Yes.
So you're looking at like the 507 comp, or the nice thing with that Defender XL from Vortex is that Shields just had it on sale for like $199. The SRO is going to cost you like what, $600?
$630 right now. I found it a couple places for $540 for they make a 5 MOA. And so I thought about, well, I'll just go to a 5 MOA, but like then one's a 5 MOA, one's a 2.5 MOA, and they're still like $600, which I laugh to myself every time because the CZ brand new CZ P10F is $518. a new Trichicon SRO is $630.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if your optic you're just getting in your optic might be pretty close to the same price as your gun, depending on the kind of gun you're buying. Don't be like, that doesn't make sense. It's 100% makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more to it and stuff, and you need that stuff to work. And
then the Hollow Sun, I believe, is around 400, give or take. Depends. You might find it
349 to 389 is what I just saw it for.
So yeah, you might see that. And then it depends if you want the green dot or the red dot. I personally, people say the green dot is better if you have astigmatism. I've seen that. You know what? I have astigmatism, and I fucking did not notice the difference at all. And that's even my fucked up eye.
Yeah. Plus the green dots are like $30, $40 more.
Yeah. Don't fall for that trap. Yeah. But you know, one other one that has a good sight window. For my Canic, I picked up their, I don't know if I say that right, but Mechanic. That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah.
And that has a good sight window on it. And I think I found that one on Amazon at one point for like $150.
Yeah.
And I had zero problems with it. And it's got a decent sized sight picture. The dot you can make as bright as you want or dim as you want. And I had no problems with that, like I said. And I think it was on Canic's site for like $300, and I got it on Amazon for like $150.
Yeah, Olight is making O-Sight now, I think. I think that's the same brand.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they're coming into the market modeling a lot of stuff after Hollow Sun, and they seem to be pretty legit, but they're like 2/3 the cost of a Hollow Sun even.
Yeah. And now Hollow Sun, for carry guns, like if it's something you're going to carry, I mean, they have you would probably want to get one of their shake and wakes. I don't know if they're the only ones that make that. I don't think they're the ones that make shake and wake.
People make them now.
But they make a solar one. That kind of depends if it's going to be closed up all the time, like in your clothes or in a bag. But it is nice, so a shake and wake for a self-defense gun, because you want that optic on mine. On your comp guns, you're going to shut them off. Because, But yeah, the shake and wakes are nice. So if you're looking for something for a carry gun, and they make a smaller, I think the one I have might be the solar one, but I think it's a 507. I don't remember the number on it.
Yeah. K, maybe?
Something like that. But it's their carry one.
Yeah. That's the one I ran on my Shadow Systems. And I really liked it. I run a SIG Romeo X on my 365, partially because I was a brand whore and just wanted to it all meshed together. Plus the mounting bracket, the mounting holes aligned up, so I didn't need to put a mounting plate on.
Yes, and that is also nice. Can be a major letdown sometimes.
Yeah. Like CZ, they have mounting, like you can get a milled slide that's optic ready, but it is not milled for any footprint. So you have to put a mounting plate on it regardless of the platform you get. Yeah. And so kind of a dick move, CZ.
And luckily a lot of them will come with mounting plates. They've gotten better, like either the optic will or the gun will. And most of them come with the RMR or the SRO. RMR, which will fit, RMR will fit. And that'll fit like probably 90% of dots out there. Until you buy a Defender XL from Vortex, and it does not work.
Yep, because that's the Delta Point.
It's a Delta Point Pro mount, so then you have to get a different mount.
Yep.
So yeah, but yeah,
which I don't know. Like, I've never shot a Delta Point, optic.
I don't know why. I think it's supposed to be higher end. It's supposed to be higher end.
I didn't
know that I've seen one.
So I looked at one before again because I thought it was cool and I wanted to be bougie, but it's a Delta Point Micro something. Essentially, it sits super fucking low because the battery actually sits behind it. So when you mount it, it sits back down over your back plate is where the battery is. Oh. So the optic sits super fucking low. It must be a micro because it's a real small window too. But then they're like, oh, it co-witnesses with the front. And I'm like, hey, yeah, but you don't have any back sights. You don't have any back irons. So I don't know what that point is. On the same point, some of the micros that they have for carries, I'm like, I don't think a regular traditional optic, even an SRO, is big, but I don't think it's not going to be the reason you print with your pistol if you put an SRO on there.
No. And by co-witness, when you're looking through your red dot, you can see your front sight. Yeah, you have your back irons line up with your front irons. So you have you have two posts in the back, one post in the front is your typical iron. You can see those through the optic. Now the Romeo X that I got has two posts on the sight itself that co-witness with the front. Now I haven't tried to shoot with it, but I would imagine you would have to adjust your front post a little bit because it was not factory aligned with that optic that you put on. Wanted to do that, but I mean I imagine it would be close enough. Yeah. So that's also, if you want to co-witness, then that can kind of change your optics. Yeah. And what you want, but for the most part, like I said, if it's self-defense, everything's happening pretty close that you don't really need to co-witness that much. Even if your optic is dead, you can just point and click and you're probably going to do some damage.
Yeah. True.
So, yeah. On red dots, you don't have to spend a fortune, but those are some of the ones we like. And don't be shocked if it's the same price as your gun.
Yeah. Yeah, they're spendy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to buy like a standard, like a Springfield, like the new Echelon, or you're going to buy a Glock or whatever, they're going to spend $400 or $500. Your optic, you're probably going to have $1,000 into the whole thing if you buy it. And then you're out the door with that.
Yeah, but I mean
it's not, you need to, if you're going to do it, like with anything, you need to practice, because using a red dot is way different than using just regular iron sights. And you don't have to. You can just shoot iron sights. You don't have to have a red dot at all if you don't want to.
True. I mean, your gun doesn't look as cool.
Yeah, neither one of my carry guns have optics on them.
Ugh.
Yep.
Fucking peasant.
Yep. But they are different. You're not just going to put, like the first time I used one was after we took that class with Lane, and it takes a little while to get used to it because you have to find it. And you feel like you're chasing the dot.
Yes.
But you can do that at home with dry fire stuff. You don't even have to use live ammo. You can just do draws and target acquisitions in your house.
Yeah, shoot rocks outside. That's what I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I don't actually shoot them through my window, but
yeah. Yeah, I have a bunch of UFC posters in my basement from fights we've been to that I use. All those people have been shot so many times.
So many times. So dead. So dead.
And then like ammo. I've had people ask me about ammo stuff, like what grains and what not. So like we talked about a little bit last week too. The grain, when you look on a box of ammo, is not how much powder is in the round. It is the weight of the projectile, which one grain is 1/7,000th of an ounce.
yes.
1/7,000th of an ounce. So you figure that out in your life. Yeah. And which comes out to 0.0648 grams, if you're wondering what one grain equals. So it kind of like
still measure it in grams, because even 115 grain 9mm bullet is 7.45 grams.
Okay.
Which makes a lot more sense than
But people ask like, oh, do you like if you have a 9mm, do you shoot 115 or 120? Was it 124?
124 and 140.
And then 147 grain. If you are carrying for self-defense, I'm sure everybody has their own opinion. I would probably just carry 147 grain because it's just going to be a heavier round with whatever you're shooting. If you're shooting competitively, a lot of people like 115 grain because it's a faster round, it's snappier. Supposedly supposed to help you get on target better, quicker, whatever. But then some people think that the 24 grain is more of a balanced round. So is there really a wrong answer? Like we've said before, the guy who got shot with the 40 and the guy who got shot with the 9, neither one of you can tell which hurt worse.
Right.
Worser. But yeah, it's just speed. And like, for the most part, like I said, I have a friend who shoots 3-gun and has there's some steel targets in there. He thinks a heavier grain on the 9, like the 124 is better for knocking over the targets.
I could see that. 124 versus 115. I mean, you want more mass, more inertia on impact because it's steel.
Yeah. But like I said, and it's going to have less of a recoil, the lighter the grain. Heavier grain will have more of a recoil. So, but like I said, the heavier grain, if it was for your home defense round, I would say a heavier grain. I assume Matt thinks the same thing. But yeah. And then, I don't know. And for self-defense, I don't know. You can always carry more bullets in a 9.
Yeah, like I mean, if you want a 380, cool. I don't think...
If I had a 380, I would definitely get the heaviest grain.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much powder behind that thing.
I would definitely get the heaviest grain with just the most disgusting hollow point you can find. Because you want it to do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
Not to say that it doesn't have the stopping power, just might as well get her done.
Yeah, I don't... Like, Erin has relatively weak wrists because she has little tiny bone structure, and
like Lamar on Revenge of the Nerds, his limp-wristed throwing action.
Yes. She doesn't have any issue shooting 9mm. Like she doesn't feel it's too snappy. She shot it in a couple small 9mm, like a Glock 43X, which is really small, and like no real issue for that. So
yeah, and then it comes down to just what fits in your hand really well.
yes,
No matter what you're shooting, no matter if you're shooting carry gun competitively, whatever, you need to figure out what fits in your hands better.
yeah. I think that's where I dropped the ball when I first purchased my first few handguns. Is like there were guns that I wanted because like I just wanted them, but once I got them and actually like started putting hands on and playing around with them, I was like, oh, this isn't nearly as comfortable as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so then started being like, okay. And for like myself, generally pretty practical. And like, if I get something, I want to be able to use it, and like it needs to have a purpose and stuff. And so if it doesn't like fit in my hand and I don't like it, like after I shot the Legion, like my shadow systems, I was like, you can just stay in here, buddy. I have no desire to shoot you ever again.
Yeah.
And so I just put it back, and then I sold it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, some will be more comfortable, but I mean, it's also if you collect them, whatever.
yeah, I mean, if you want to collect them and stuff, fuck yeah. Like,
yeah. I mean, my Desert Eagle does not fit in anybody's hand very well, but it's fun.
Is that a 7+1?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know what the grain on that bullet is. I haven't looked, I guess.
More.
I bet it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we started talking about ammos, and then it got out of hand because what did we say there was? As of right now, the most commonly recognized, there's between 150 and 200 different calibers of ammo.
for pistol and rifle and shotgun, right?
Yes, all combined.
All combined.
It's kind of ridiculous, but historic, if you put everything in there, there's 300 to 500 plus.
Right. Because like old musket balls, are they counting like musket balls? Because I assume those were probably 50 caliber, if not bigger.
When they're still around, well, because you can black powder.
Yeah, but
them,
like that's not a ball anymore. It's like an actual bullet, which I guess muskets upgraded to be like a bullet with rifling eventually.
The 50 AE that the Desert Eagle shoots is a 300 grain round.
A 45 ACP is like, I think 230.
So it is like double of the 147.
But it's
grain.
subsonic, right? So you could put pressure on it. It's got to be subsonic. There's no way that
Standard load, good balance of speed and power.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So the 9mm is 115 to 147.
I wonder what the power factor is with that if you competed with it.
A 50 AE is 300 plus, so it's 2 to 3 times heavier than a typical pistol round. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's why RoboCop shot it.
Yeah. And he had that like semi-auto one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's part that bothers me, is just all the different calibers. Like, why is there to be so many?
Especially in the rifle. Like, I'm really looking right now. I want to build like a coyote murder gun. And there are...
Do you have a lot of coyotes at your house?
A ton. Not necessarily my house. The guy we get our cattle from down the road, they have a lot of coyotes there. And so he likes to go out and patrol and murder them when they're calving.
Is there any kind of permissions you have to have for that?
Probably. I think now if they're going after livestock, you're fine. So depending on how far you want to stretch that. But you can also get a trapper's permit for them, mink, beaver, something else.
How about mountain lion? You guys got any down there?
You can get a mountain lion permit there. So reportedly there are at least 2 that come through our area from time to time. I don't know if anyone's ever seen actual mountain lion.
You should bow hunt them. That'd be man shit.
That's why I got this knife, bro.
You told me you're a good knife thrower. You told me that.
Yeah. I'm not going to put a mountain lion. I'm not going to throw it. I'm going to hold on to that bitch. I'm getting in and close.
I think you should bow hunt one.
Yeah. That'd be fun. I'd like to get into bow hunting. Like, the tough part is, like, I don't have a lot of connections with people who have, like, really good hunting land. And, like, all the hunting land around us, people are super protective on. Like, I'm pretty sure that they would shoot you if they thought that you were hunting on their land.
Yeah.
But I could probably turkey hunt on my spot. I could put out a little food plot and lure them in and murder them, but I don't know, that doesn't seems a little cheaty.
Yeah. Well,
It's Especially because I can just throw corn up by our bird feeders on the road and just keep my window open and just bow hunt them right out the window. I don't even have to go outside.
And if you use like a bow fishing boat, just that harpoon, you just drag them back in.
Yeah, just drag them back in.
Don't have to go outside.
Yeah, drag them back in, take them right in the bathroom, clean them in the tub.
Yeah, bow hunting's fun. Or bow fishing's fun.
Yeah, bow fishing's super fun.
But yeah, shooting the coyotes be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So like I've been looking at that, and there's a gazillion rounds. Like the 22 arc is the one that sounds super sexy and cool because it's relatively new, but it's also good for like 500 yards, and because it's a small round, tons of powder, super fast, really flat. But then you also have things like a 22, 250, a 243, 270. Like those work. 5.56 works just fine. Now 5.56 is probably sub 250 yards because you start to lose.
Starts to tumble.
Yeah, you start to tumble. You get you're not quite as accurate for that. But something like a 308, 30-06, like you could stretch out and touch them with it, but like that's too much for a little dog. Like if
you're not trying to save
if you're not trying to save him, you're just trying to murder him, then it's like, sure. Like I was thinking, because Hal doesn't want to keep the pelts. Apparently pelts for coyotes in our area, nobody wants them because they're ugly compared to like high quality pelts, which I didn't notice a difference. But the story I heard is, especially in the Ponca Hills area, it was 10, 15 years ago, maybe longer, mange came through. Some coyote den got mange and like spread it to all the other coyotes. And the thing about mange is that it can kind of live and hibernate in the den for years. So like the den might have been empty for 2 years, and then another pack of coyotes comes through and they're like, hey, look, a house. And they go in there, then they pick up mange and like refresh it. But like mange came through and wiped out a ton of the coyotes, and the ones that survived and came back through, like the pelts are not attractive to pelt collectors. So yeah, it wouldn't be that. And then I was like, well, if we don't care about them, then maybe I get like something obnoxious like a 338 Lapua and just shoot them from 600 yards.
Yeah.
And just like really, really make them fucking mess out there.
Yeah, get a parrot.
Mm-hmm. I think that would be enjoyable, although it's still like probably $6-7 a round to shoot coyotes.
I don't know. I was getting them for $3 there for a little while.
The Lapuas?
No, the Barrett rounds.
Oh, the Barrett rounds. Yeah, you got those Russian surplus ones. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever they were. They're linked.
It'd be great to get just like tracer rounds. I think that's super fun to shoot them at night.
Yeah,
put a thermal on there.
Yeah, we talked about shooting in your house, but it was really dry.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
I didn't even mean to get tracer rounds. They just sent them to me. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. There's just so many kinds of ammo, and I don't think there's like a wrong. Whatever somebody wants to buy.
Yeah, I mean they're all for their specific. Like one of the guys I went hunting with, he's adamant on the 6.5 PRC.
Yep, I know a guy who did like a mile shot with the 6.5 PRC, I think.
And he shot that one because again, it'll stretch out forever. Super flat, lots of bullet energy on impact. Has more energy on impact than the 6.5 Creedmoor. Like once you get past 350 yards, I think, or 400 yards or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Yeah, they're all different.
And I guess kind of the more I've shot, like if you're talking just you, I just want to buy a handgun. I said whatever you want, but like if you're just buying a handgun to have one, a 9mm is just
9mm is the way to go.
Yeah, like we were talking about Drew wanted to get a 45.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he wants to get one. That's cool. But yeah, if you're just somebody who like wants to buy a gun, unless you like want like an authentic like 1911,
yeah,
it's gonna be a 45. Yeah, cool. But if you're like, I specifically want a 45,
yeah,
it's gonna cost you more to shoot it. It's just not.
Yeah, and like again, 1911s are cool guns, but they're 7+1, maybe 8+1.
Yeah, I love them. I have a couple 1911s. I think they're awesome.
So they're cool, super reliable, all that good stuff. The history behind them is great. But if you just want a 45 to have it, it's like get something that's a double stack, so you can get 13+1 or something.
Yeah. Kimber just came out with her double stack 1911, the DS Warrior, and that's 9mm, so it's not quite 40, but still the whole 1911 look, which a 1911 versus a 2011. Now they have a double stack. A 1911 is basically just a completely stripped down 2011.
Yeah.
Usually a 2011 is going to look more speedy.
Yeah. Fancier, more modern.
Yeah. Whereas like your double stack 1911s is still just going to have like the smooth slide, the very traditional look to it.
No, like Picatinny on it, irons.
Yeah. That's going to be your biggest difference. And I think Kimber just came out with that one. It's like $1,000.
Yeah. Get the 2011. They're cooler and sexier.
Yes. So, but yeah, we thought we'd just throw out some a little bit of gun knowledge today because people have asked about optics and ammunitions.
True.
And then obviously these are all pistol ones. You get into like rifles, then you're talking.
Yeah, then you're talking like.
Most people, they'll talk about, what is it? Whatever you spend on your, what did that guy tell me? Whatever you spend on your rifle, you'll probably spend double on your optic.
At least. I was going to say 3X.
For the glass, especially if you're trying to go long range.
Mm-hmm.
Like those, that's why you see those night forces and all that are $2,500 to $3,000, probably for their lower end.
Yeah, then you're looking at like different focal planes and like how your optic adjusts, whether you can zoom in and all that stuff.
And then you got to get like a Kestrel so you can look at your winds and your ballistics and all that shit.
Or you get the optic that has like all the computer programming in it and you just like tell it and it's like, oh, do this.
Yeah.
That's
where it gets real crazy when you start getting into that. So.
No, that's too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, I have just a couple basic scopes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
But Vortex I like Vortex even for the red dots because they make a affordable quality product. Their customer service is like over the top.
Oh, good. Good to know.
On their like Defender, like you can send that shit in. Like you have any of their scopes, you can just send it in and be like, this happened. And they're like, oh, here's a new one. And I know Lane, and Lane's not sponsored by him, but they know they've given him some optics to try out, and he doesn't really have anything poor to say about them.
Yeah.
And he says a lot of poor stuff about a lot of things.
About almost everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially us.
So yeah, if you want like a good optic, but you don't want to spend, you can watch for it to be on sale, but I think it's still $399 maybe.
Yeah.
The Defender.
That pistol one, yeah.
Yeah. Which, like I said, the Holosun's kind of in the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally would not spend the money on the SRO.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
I feel like it's like one of those things where like everyone else is caught up in quality, but they still think theirs is way better than everybody else's.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's better. Like I believe your actual viewing window is slightly bigger on the Holosun, the 507 comp, because it is a square, where the SRO is a circle and it's similar diameter to the Holosun.
Yeah.
So you get technically a little bit more viewing window. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if $300 more for an optic, for a pistol optic.
And I get it. Like Trigicon's been around for a long time. Like they were kind of like, I feel like some of the OGs, but man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's like, you could buy a Holosun or whatever and have $300 to spend on ammo that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not like the world's greatest shooter, but I mean, I've looked through a lot of different optics and I wasn't like, man.
Yeah, I would have put a Vortex or a Holosun on that CZ if it didn't come with the SRO on it.
Yeah, I think when I shot Lane's, he had that SRO on his. And I was more, just the gun itself. Was I more focused on than, I didn't look at that optic and thought, man,
that's nice.
Look at me. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, or you can go all the way down. Like I said, I found that, however you say it, Mechanic, it's Canex optic. And I think you've used mine.
Yeah. It was solid.
Yeah, and I think I got that one on Amazon for like $150. So, but yeah, get out there and buy some guns.
Yeah, buy some guns.
Buy some optic, but handle your gun, practice with your gun.
Your pistol and your gun.
Yeah. Yes, I get what you did there.
Yeah. I was going to say that my overly priced knife select and collection worked out really well when I processed a brisket and some beef ribs the other day. Obnoxiously sharp.
Yes.
So it made trimming the brisket so much more enjoyable. So much more enjoyable.
Nice.
Even as the brisket started to warm up and it wasn't quite as firm, like you could still just get in there and slice all the goodies and stuff off.
Nice.
So that made me happy. Still ridiculously priced, but
Montana Knife Company.
they are really nice.
Yeah.
And I think I'm very special because I am part of their VIP club now. So they sent me a Zippo and a little VIP sticker.
Because you purchased so many knives?
Yes, because I funded a small country with my purchases.
Because you bought the full set for yourself.
Yep.
And then you bought me that one. Mm-hmm. Have you bought more than that?
I bought this one.
Oh, your little carry ones too.
Yeah, I got this one and I have a couple other carry ones. I've given a couple other smaller ones as gifts. I bought a meat church one for me with part of that set.
Yeah.
I just bought their, I don't know, there's something their slicer, but it's essentially, it's more robust than a fillet knife, but not like a chef knife. So it's definitely for like trimming and stuff. And that worked phenomenally well because the blade has a little bit of bend to it. So when you want to get in there and cut some of the stuff on the brisket, like it'll flex a little bit.
And no, they are expensive, but I think they build these with the idea that you're going to pass them on to.
Yeah, they call them their generation guarantee. So for as long as that knife is in existence and they are in existence, if it needs sharpening, if whatever happens, like, and so I was reading a post of someone who used their knife a shit ton and essentially it was like worn down so much that like there wasn't much left to sharpen. And so they just hooked him up with a new knife because he'd sent it back and got it sharpened a bunch and stuff.
Oh.
So I don't know if that was like he has some kind of connection to him or if that's just what they do. I haven't been able to find that. But yeah, they have their generations guarantee. So you just send it back, they'll sharpen it. But I know when I went through and used some of the other knives to like do a brisket, I'd have to run it on like the little, I don't know what those fucking posts are.
Yeah.
It like gives it the edge back. It doesn't sharpen it, but it like gives it its edge. And I'd have to do that a couple times as I went through. But like this thing just through that whole brisket, cut through some like the tough cartilage and stuff on the beef rib rack. So
nice.
Worked out well.
There you go. Sometimes quality in the long run.
I definitely lean that way a little bit. Pay once, cry once, or whatever.
Buy once, cry once.
Yeah, that one. I definitely kind of lean towards that more so than. Well, there's some stuff that I'll buy. Like there's been sometimes you need like a tool for something, and like I'm going to use this fucking thing one time. So I'm like Harbor Freight, baby, here we go. But
they ain't bad.
No. I mean Harbor Freight's phenomenal. There's a lot of brands out there. Like I had the, I think Merlin is the brand at Ace Hardware. They're like a plastic polymer handle, but they have knives and they worked well for me for a long time. They lose their edge. I don't know. I'd say they lose their edge quicker than like a good knife set, but it's easy to give them their edge back and stuff. So like they were great to have. You could then, like $20, $30 a piece for these different kinds. And then when like they got too bad, like I have a couple that had like got chips in there with like little nicks that I couldn't get like worked out. So I just like, I'll throw it away. Go get another $25 knife.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like people are always like, I would never buy Oakleys because I lose sunglasses all the time. And I was like, as soon as you have like $100+ pair of sunglasses on your head, you always know where they're at.
Yeah.
You will not lose them.
That's true.
Which I think once the weather gets better here, we'll try and do some more videos at the range too. I got my glasses my meta glasses all tuned up with some prescription lenses in them.
Yeah.
And then Matt's got his cap videos.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, let us know if you got any questions. If there's any stuff you want to see, if you want to see other videos.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know how to change the firing pin, don't ask us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the wrong person. There's gunsmiths out there for a reason.
Yeah, like I barely can put the optic on. I mean, I can get the optic on. Yeah. Apparently, I did it wrong though when Lane showed up and my optic was loose.
Well, remember I had mine at the range and I was like, "Oh, the screw's too long." Yeah, so
it happens. But yeah,
yeah, but yeah, let us know what you guys think. Otherwise, we appreciate you listening. Like, subscribe, share, follow. We'll see you next time.